I know it's pretty customary for the maid of honor to drown in tears, but I'm gonna try to avoid that. I cried so much this week, I think I'm pretty much in the clear now. But if you see me going that way, just follow Steve Albury's lead. Everybody do the robot and he'll pull me right out. Okay.
Tell him to sit.
So I wrote many renditions of what I might say tonight. I mean, now I said I wasn't going to cry, now I'm going to do it. You turn around. And, because you only have one sister, and I was lucky enough to get the best one ever. So, of course, I, thought so long and hard about what revealing stories I might share with all of you tonight. Yeah. And then half of what I was going to say was stolen from me by Mary the officiant. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to waste all of your time repeating all of this, but I'm gonna give a short rendition of that and then segue into some new memories that surfaced during the evening.
Oh, freestyle, bro!
Yeah. So first I want to thank all of you guys for coming, because this whole weekend is founded in community and truth, really, because the more that you guys are here, the distances and the times way back that you've traveled from, and standing by Lauren and Brian while they confess their so honest love to each other only solidifies all of the reasons that we know we're here. The more that everybody is here supporting them, the more that we know that this is the truth. This is what we need to do. Yeah. Earlier this weekend, my sister pulled out some rompers. She was like, we're going to Coney Island, put this on. And we were in the bathroom, the new bathroom that we share together. It was like a flashback to high school when we used to butt each other out of the mirror. And I was putting it on, and I was just struck by this moment, because I was like, there's so much hysterical planning leading up to a wedding. You never really get to sit and contemplate what it means. And I looked at her and I just started sobbing, and I was like, when you stand up there on Sunday, it's going to be the most vulnerably honest 20 minutes of your entire life. You guys, I mean, they are performance artists, but if you know them as well as I do, you know they're shy. They secretly hold hands under the table. They try to sneak those kisses when no one's looking. And today they did it in front of all of us, and that just says so much about, why we're here. This is all about truth. So, in keeping with that, I'm going to tell you guys some true stories about Lauren and Brian.
Hollywood story.
I'm going to start with Brian, because the first time I met Brian, it was not at all what I expected it to lead out to be. I walked in the middle of the winter to this crazy house in South Dakota, and there's a guy in his uniform, boxers, it's freezing outside, frying hot dogs and wrapping them in fried ham, and I'm like, oh my God. What does this place do to people? Where is my sister? I didn't see him again for probably another year, and then the second time I met him was 4th of July 2003, ironically. I had been in Virginia that morning and then drove home and ran into Lauren and Brian on my parents' back porch, and that was the first long conversation I ever had with him. We talked in-depthly about Native American populations at the time when white people reached the New World. It was a long night. I didn't realize how dense this guy was, but it's only gotten more intense over the years. But, so nobody in this world loves my sister more than I do. I know that, Brian, you love her, but it's a very different kind of love. Her and I have traveled many miles together. And though I hate to admit it sometimes, she definitely blazed a path that has taught me so much and made it so much easier for me. because I was able to learn the lessons without having to like go through the falls, but I was there to help you when you did. But so where are these lessons? Outlined somewhere. Great job, I love it. Okay. Alright, so alright, well whatever, forget this. But I want to tell you guys a few stories. So my sister taught me a lot of things. The first thing she taught me was how to stay strong in the face of adversity and competition. She used to come to me when we were kids and she'd be like, hey, I have a great idea. Let's both dress up Barbies and see which one's prettier, and then we'll take them up to Mom and get her to say who's prettier. And then right when we were walking up the stairs, she'd be like, hey, let's switch, and then we'll know the honest truth. And then we would switch, and my mom would always pick mine, and then she'd be like, see, hers.
That's right. Teach him lessons.
No, she's come a long way from there. The next thing she taught me was how to be an entrepreneur. One year well, first she taught me independence before that, because we shared a room when we were young, and I would come in there every day and I'd be like, Laura, come play with me, and she'd be like, after I've done this chapter, just one more chapter. And I'd be like, okay, and I'd keep coming back, and before I knew it, like, the book was done, and I was like, why don't these books have more than one chapter? I don't understand. But that led me into the bushes where I was sticking flowers on my head, and then we both evolved into the people we are. But through that, she decided she was going to open this amazing thing, this kids book club. And she spent a whole summer converting our basement into a bookstore. And she hung up flyers all over the neighborhood. Like, opening day was coming, she baked cookies, she had lemonade. Like, she could not be more excited. And then nobody came. It was just us. Kimmy Harder. But she was part of the making. But we shook it off. We shook it off quick. Started making videos with the Pickle Man. And before you know it, it was all over. But I could tell you guys a million things. Bunny toss, nightmares about witchy second grade teachers, laying under the covers all night, sharing earphones and whispering everywhere to the Aladdin soundtrack 15 times. But, so I've seen her through happiness, sadness, laughter, failure, conquering, and no, you were never a failure. But I have to say, like, I've known Lauren and Brian for a long time. It's been a good 7 years in the making, and they've both grown so much together. Like, since my sister was going through this moment where she graduated college, she wasn't sure of herself or her life, and she moved to the res, and she met Brian, and from there it was just this constant support. They both like helped each other unleash this creative animal that keeps growing out of both sides, and they just get stronger together. And I'm just so honored to call Brian my brother officially, even though I've been calling him that for the last couple of years. And I love him, and I never sent in my haikus, so I figured I would just read it to you guys now. And then we'll be done. I love you. One cold hand, one warm. Two noses stuck in pages, sleep deprived in love. Oh!